beautiful life she lived and the countless ways she touched each of us. Her story did not end with her passing. It lives on in every memory, every lesson, and every life she changed. While I can try, I make no promises that this eulogy will be an average one. More than anything else, it will reflect the state of my mind and heart. And I can tell you that it's a mixture of confusion, deep hurt, longing, regret, and anger, all mixed in with moments of laughter. So bear with me and try to hang on for the ride as I go in all these different directions. Sonia Anne-Marie Thomas was born on September 16, 1974, to mother Lucille Phillips and father Emmanuel Thomas. She was the fifth child for her mother and second for her father. She grew up in an extended household with her grandmother, grandfather, uncle, 4 brothers, me, and countless other relatives that would stay for short or long term, including Sister Sheena down there and her brother. Many Jamaicans are blessed with a nickname that is most times unrelated to their government name. For us growing up in the laid-back town of Port Antonio in the parish of Portland, she was Shawn. That's the name that evokes memories of our youth, family, friendships, adventures, struggles, and achievements. It's still a little awkward for me to refer to my sister as Sonia. I thought I had a distinction in the family of being the first to attend a prep school. And that was because my grandmother had links. Well, she did some domestic work for the principal. So that's the links she had. But my older brother informed me about 3 days ago that no, it wasn't you. Sonia went to that prep school before you did. From that prep school, she moved from Baptist Preparatory to Kenwright Primary. Her success at the Common Entrance Examination led to her placement at the Titchfield High School. From there, she went on to the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, to earn a diploma in primary education. Sonia would also later go on to earn a degree in business administration. One thing is certain, my sister has and will continue to remain in my memory as a proper, decent human being. She was quiet and well-behaved at home and out in the wider world. Behind this quiet demeanor though, I remember my sister as someone who possessed a fierce drive and a determination to succeed. Her primary school was probably about 5 miles away from where we lived, and she had to take one of those big country buses to and fro. That was the famous bus we called the Harley Bem Bem. We lived on a hill, on Bonneview Hill, close to the center of town. We knew the bus was coming because the horn would start sounding out its familiar honking from a distance. Many mornings, Sister Sonia could be seen running at full speed off Bonneview Hill in an attempt to get to the main road to catch the bus. There were times when she missed it, particularly because our mother was always in the habit of waiting for the last minute to hand her her fare. And on these occasions, she had to walk. If this troubled her, you would never have known. She simply strapped her bag onto her back, and she had this familiar way of walking and leaning her head to the side and humming to herself, and she would begin her journey. She was not in the habit of missing school. What stands out to me even more was the fact that whether she had bus fare or not, she was still going to school. To this day, I don't know what her explanations to the conductor was on those occasions when she had no fare. At Titchfield, Sonia did well in the sciences. She was excellent at math and accounting. I remember being in first form and browsing through some of her notebooks and not being able to make much of all the numbers and figures and formulae that she had worked on. It only occurred to me later on that she was the smart one, as all I could do was English language and literature. I don't know if I have admitted this to anyone, but Sonia prevented me from facing a proper disaster on my college final year research project. She took one look at the percentages and the graphs that I had included and gently informed me that those numbers could not work. Her actual words to me were, "Nikki, you cannot have an even number sample and end up with all these odd percentages. Don't ask me to explain all of that, but just know that my sister fixed my numbers and I passed." Thank you, my sister. Sonia boarded on campus while she was a case. And you know who took every opportunity to go look for my big sister on campus? She could not imagine how proud I was of her and how much her journey meant to me and the rest of the family. Sometime during her final year of studies, she met Earl Anderson, who would later become her husband. Upon completion of her studies, she moved to reside in Green Acres in St. Catherine and began teaching at White Marl Primary and Junior High. A few years later, she gave birth to Lauren, and she basked in the role of motherhood. Her daughter brought so much joy to her, and she was truly happy. And again, I was not far behind in sharing this happiness with my sister. Lauren was also mine, and I used every opportunity I could to be at their house. Her nephews also recalled that she would come for them regularly and bring them to St. Catherine for weekends and holidays. They cherish and hold these memories dear to their hearts. Two things happened during this period that truly showed my sister's heart. I was attending Micro Teachers College at the time, and I would get regular assurances from my sister that if I needed food, I should make my way to her house. I would also get regular visits on campus, and she would make sure I had extra money. In my final year, I informed her that I had an outstanding balance of $22,000. When I told her this, she told me to visit that weekend. As I was getting ready to leave, she pointed me to her handbag behind the door and told me to take out an envelope that was in it. There was $22,000 in that envelope. Again, when I told her that many of my friends were embarking on the overseas work and travel program to the United States, and I would like to try in my final year to see if I actually could make use of the opportunity. She asked me how much it was, and she had the program fee ready for me by the following week. I went to New Jersey, worked for the summer, came back, expressed my appreciation, and repaid her in full. If only she knew the pride I felt that I was able to show her how responsible I was in my actions. That was the very first time I was visiting the United States, and it was my sister who made it possible 26 years ago. Sonia migrated to the United States in the year 2001 and made Fort Lauderdale her new home. Lauren stayed behind with her father and then joined her mother a few years after. It was a new yet promising road for her, and she embraced the move. The highs and lows of her life were experienced in the years following this move. The greatest high was that she found and became rooted and grounded in her Christian faith. She began walking in faith and remained steadfast in the belief that with Christ in her vessel, she would be able to smile at any storm. She served God faithfully, and I can recall that she found so much satisfaction praying with and for others and saving souls for the Lord. She found her home right here at the New Life Community Church. Thank you for welcoming her and embracing her. And then came the lows. In June 2015, she suffered a minor stroke. Sonia was on her way to full recovery when she suffered another stroke. This time it was devastating. According to one of the doctors at the Florida Medical Center, almost 3/4 of the right side of her brain was damaged. The result was that she had lost her ability to speak, walk, and eat on her own. She was moved to the Palms Rehabilitation and Care Center, where she slowly regained her ability to eat on her own. That was it though. Her entire left side was paralyzed, and she never regained the ability to speak. She spent almost 10 years in a fight for her life. The early months and years were ones that left us hopeful. She was able to express her joys with deep, heartwarming laughter. She made full use of her left hand and feet to express her pleasure or displeasure. She ate most of her food with as much enthusiasm as she could muster, and tried her best to communicate with sounds and facial expressions. We remained hopeful that things would turn in her favor. In every visit, we searched for and took comfort in any sign of improvement. Her church family and friends prayed for a miracle. There were numerous visits and many persons advocating on her behalf for continued physical therapy. I refused to give up. I wanted my sister to know and feel that her presence was valued, and I wanted her to continue fighting. When I look back, I can remember times when it seemed she was in pain and discomfort, and just frustrated that she could not communicate this to anyone. I hurt over and over, just remembering the look on her face and her cries in those moments when her body was breaking down from those years of just lying in the same space. In early June 2025, Sonia was found unresponsive in her room. She was transferred to Florida Medical Center and placed in the ICU. My mind plays mental gymnastics with the many possibilities we heard as to what led to this. Pneumonia, mucus, UTI, additional seizures, kidney stones, inability to manage her own airway, and a host of other conditions. It was decided that she was unable to effectively manage her airway, and a tracheostomy tube was implanted to breathe for her. She was later moved to Kindred Hospital and then to Boca Circle Rehabilitation Center. She spent close to a year in the latter facility and made her transition there on July 4 at 6:09 a.m. I don't know how much more we could have asked of Sonia. In her lifetime, she had won many fights. She won the fight against a boy who would bully almost everyone at Kenwright Primary. She won the fight against Sherry, who decided to pick on her as we were on our way home. In that fight, I decided that the cousin Erica, who wanted to team up with Cherry and fight Sonia, would have to face me. I was soundly beaten, but my big sister Shawn had delivered a sound beating to Cherry's skin. She won the fight of being the first of the siblings to make it through big college successfully. I can hear my nephew Preston over there in Canada, if he's watching now, begging to differ that his mother, our sister, Suzette Trench, was the first to do it. I will use this opportunity to remind him that the operative word is big college. All right? If there were any other physical fights that saw my sister standing on her feet, I guarantee she would have won those as well. Try as she might, she just could not win the battle against illness. It is safe to say that each of us may have to fight one or more battles as we navigate this uncertain life. Give it your best shot. Remain faithful and believe and pray unceasingly. I hope Sonia's life was a blessing to those she loved and who loved her as well. Her life and work here on earth might have been cut short, but Sister Sonia is now singing amongst the angels. Though the final years of her journey were marked by illness and the quiet halls of a nursing home, they did not define her life. God's love never left her side, and his faithfulness never failed. Today, we remember not only the challenges she endured, but the grace with which she lived, the love she shared, and the quiet faith that carried her for 11 years. Take comfort in God's promise that there will come a day when every tear will be wiped away, every weakness will be gone, and every child of God will be made whole. Until we meet again, we entrust her into the loving arms of her Savior, knowing she has found perfect peace, and He welcomed her with open arms. May we leave here with hope in our hearts, gratitude for her life, and confidence in the belief that it was well with her soul. Thank you.